better with him on the court.
Starting lineups. As we took a look at the tape here, Blunt will start, by the way. Vermont and Riverhawks both can score the basketball as the numbers bear out. Riverhawks have outshot every opponent this year with the exception of one. That was Albany back on Sunday, the first and only time the Riverhawks have lost the field goal percentage category. Vermont going to win the tip, and we are underway here from Lowell. Riverhawks opening up in a man-to-man. Catamounts in their road greens will take their time here on their first possession. A slashing move, a left-hand shot will fall in the lane. A strong take from Matt Verrado, a grad student with an interesting story.
Big, strong kid. I tell you, there's an electricity in the air for this game. You know, Vermont comes to town, it just feels a little bit different.
Two of the top three teams in the preseason poll squaring off here, both coming off a loss. Three-pointer up and in. That's Hakeem from the wing. The senior guard able to get the step back, in the Washington, D.C. native give the Riverhawks their first lead.
Very good sign to see a Yinde Hakeem.
Meanwhile, another three up and in. This is Verrado showing you what he can do from the outside. He's got all five for Vermont here early.
Verrado, after making that shot, hyping up the bench. Big game for the kids in green as well. I say earlier, really nice to see a Yinde Hakeem knock that three-point shot down. He can score, but he does most of his damage in the paint. If he becomes a threat from the outside, he's going to be a handful.
Got a jump ball here as Max Brooks rejected. And then the jump ball is called. That's Iliri Iofalea, who got plenty of basketball there to tie him up. Meanwhile, Hakeem, second shot, back iron miss, and the rebound off the bounce for Robin Duncan, fifth-year guard out of Evansville, Indiana. Another three-pointer. This one a line drive miss offered up by Dylan Penn. Another Evansville, Indiana native. Did not draw the iron there. They lob it inside, and Brooks is fouled on the catch. Verrado didn't like the call, but got plenty of wrist. It's the first team foul either way here.
Vermont really controlling the pace right now. They're running, getting out, right up the UMass Lowell defenders' back. Sacred Heart did a really good job earlier in the year not letting the UMass Lowell defense set up. Because once they can check you, they got athleticism, then they got length.
Blunt inside out for Hammond, who hits the three.
Everett Hammond continues to play well.
Had plenty of room. And the Silver Spring, Maryland native, true on his first shot attempt. 2 minutes in, Riverhawks a 6-5 lead. Vermont looking to wrestle the lead back. Catamounts got plenty of fans in the stands, as the Vermont faithful have traveled well.
They always do.
Three-pointer. That one is over the top of the backboard and ruled out of bounds. Verrado with a heat check three there. A little too strong, and UMass Lowell will come the other way.
The southpaw. UMass Lowell's got to try to get the ball inside. Coulibaly, give him a touch. Max Brooks, give him a touch. Then work back out.
Coulibaly has not touched the basketball yet. Hakeem, probe, dribble, up fake, elbow J, short. Rebound in the crowd for Duncan. Vermont looking to push,
good
knocked
hands.
down by Blunt. Stolen by Coulibaly.
Nice for Alan Blunt to make a play early on in this game. Get his legs back under him, get the adrenaline going a little bit.
First turnover either way. Here's Coulibaly. Looking to go one-on-one. Double team comes. He goes to the jump hook. It's blocked again. Iofalea, his second rejection.
And again, Vermont controlling the pace, getting up the court fast, putting pressure on the Riverhawks defense.
Three-pointer. Up and in to beat the shot clock. Iofalea just in time, able to get square. That's his first field goal of the game.
Saying that name a lot early, Nick.
Yeah, on both ends here. He's got 3 points. Vermont's lead is 2 at 8-6.
Quicker inside to Coulibaly. He's got to get it to him quicker than that, so he's deeper.
Former St. Bonaventure standout goes up and under.
Nice strong finish.
A patient move down low. The right-hand shot goes off the window. The game is tied at 8.
Had one move, didn't work, didn't panic. Kept his composure, kept his pivot, went opposite, found a way to score.
Meanwhile, Vermont head coach John Becker, a scowl on his face. He's been working the officials already. Now nearly 4 minutes into this first half. Shot clock down to 10. Duncan, drive and kick. Iofaleo back out. Duncan has to hurry
Good
with
pass.
5. He'll drop it back down. Baseline fade is in and out, no good. And Koulibaly clears the glass for the Riverhawks.
Iofaleo is impressive. Athletic, quick.
Here's Blunt in the corner. 3-pointer. Too strong. Catamounts the other way. Rebound for Penn. He'll take it himself. Game tied at 8. Duncan looking for a screen and roll here. A little two-man game. Nowhere to go.
Good defense
for Cam Gibson. Back up top for Duncan. Shot clock at 8. Straight away 3. Back iron miss.
Duncan's a very solid player, but offensively, you don't want him taking your last shot. That's not what makes him a good player. He's not a guy that shoots the ball very well or even looks to score. He's a facilitator, understands what Coach Becker wants on the court, but sometimes you're playing 5-on-4 offensively.
Entry pass poked away. Catamounts look to push. Penn cut off. And Vermont will think better of it with now 5 minutes gone by first half.
Penn holding that right knee. He was just going to maybe talk to the official a little bit.
Here's Gibson for 3. Too strong, and Koulibaly is fouled on the rebound. It's going to go against Iofalea. And that'll be the second team foul for Vermont. UMass Lowell ball when we come back. You're watching college basketball presented by Jersey Mike's here on ESPN+.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show 'em who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach.
Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
I got big dreams. I got big goals. One of those goals was to master my credit. And that's when I found Experian Boost on my Chime app. My FICO score went up immediately 14 points. And all it took was 3 bills that I was already paying on time. My phone bill, my light bill, even my cable bill. And it all works with my debit card. I feel closer to my goals, and every day I'm closer than what I was yesterday. See what I'm saying? At Chime.com.
When you buy 10 tickets on Vivid Seats, you get the 11th ticket free. I wonder what my 11th will be.
Hey! You're trash!
Living rent-free in a hockey player's head?
Or maybe just make some noise!
What's your 11th?
Well, there is Coach Becker, now in his 12th season. He's built up the program over the last decade plus. 5 America East championships, looking for a 6th this season.
And recently patched Coach Brennan, who's a legend up in the Burlington, Vermont area for the most wins at 256 in program history. Coach Becker took this program over, and they were really good, and he maintained that level of success, and that's not easy to do.
Here's a guy who started from scratch.
Yeah,
at least at the
not
D1
easy
level.
either.
Pat Duquette now 10 seasons on the sideline. And again, the talk has been that this may be his best team yet.
Yeah, I think it is his best team yet. I think that they were aggressive in the transfer portal over the last 2 years, and these guys have come together.
Both teams come in 2-1 in conference. Both trying to shake off a loss back on Sunday. Here's Connor Withers.
I'm telling you, Connor
Smooth
Withers.
little floater there for the 5th-year senior.
He really is a heck of a player. You know, it's too bad he lost last year to that injury, and you know, I think at times he's still trying to get his rhythm back. I mean, that's a lot of time to miss playing the game. So talented.
Exploded last time.
Oh, he's so talented.
He took the floor in this building.
High
5
major
threes
hands.
a week ago in the win over Maine.
He has high major hands. He'll have 3-4 deflections tonight.
Meanwhile, Penn in the
There's one.
post
Oh.
draws a foul. Whistle comes late in the shot clock. It goes against Withers, his first, as we get a look at Connor Withers.
How about the ball fake? You know,
he's good with that.
Didn't travel.
Yep.
Double ball fake. The shot fake, put it to the deck, fake the pass, and a nice teardrop.
Saw him do it against the Black Bears and then knock down a three.
Yeah, and doing that at 6'8".
Just over 6 minutes gone by first half. Getting into the lane is Deloney.
Deloney, and that's what he does very well. Small in stature, big in game.
Coming in at over 12 per. That's his first field goal. Game tied again at 10. Hakeem into the lane.
Nice
outside Hammond, ready to fire. Three-pointer is short. Another rebound for Duncan. Catamounts looking to push. Vermont has looked to run when they can so far here. Now 7 minutes in. Again, the Catamounts look to retake the lead. Duncan one-on-one against Hammond, up and under for two. A strong move for the Hoosier. Evansville, Indiana, well represented. His first two puts Vermont out in front again by two.
And a long line of very good players from that family.
Inside, Koulibaly. Vermont does bring the double. Koulibaly gives up the dribble and throws it away.
Look at
Duncan with the steal.
With the hustle.
And is fouled at midcourt.
Gritty kid.
Able to wrestle the ball away from really two Riverhawks on that play.
Yeah, winning plays right there. Both guys, Connor Withers, equally as tough a kid going after that ball.
Two team fouls now each way. That's the second on Withers. Coach Duquette going to leave him on the floor, at least for now. It's Allende Hakeem who heads to the bench. And we get our first look at Cam Morris III, 6'8" sophomore who has really come on as of late. Went 7 of 7 from the floor on Sunday against Albany. Also, Mikey Watkins, Jim, one of your favorite players, into the line for the first time, line up for the first time for UMass Lowell.
When you see Mikey Watkins enter the game, you know Coach Duquette wants to calm things down and get a little bit more disciplined offensively.
Down to 5 to shoot. Deloney has to hurry. Little floater, short. Withers the skying rebound for the Riverhawks.
Nice sign right there. Connor Withers staying in the game after picking up that second one. Talk about his emotions. Very emotional kid. How about that move?
Spin move and finish. That's Yuri Covington, who also just checked in, the 6'1" junior from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Showing you a little bit of the finger roll there on the lane.
Absolute stud. Instant impact off the bench. If he's not scoring, he's a high-level defender.
Meanwhile, Duncan is knocked to the ground. And a foul is called as that ball nearly went in off the glass. Duncan is upset. Timeout on the floor. We're tied again at 12. Fancy footwork there from Yuri Covington. It's going to send us to break on a high note. 12 apiece here in Lowell. You're watching college basketball presented by Jersey Mike's.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way.
When I first started out as a filmmaker, I didn't want to get into credit cards because I realized I didn't know anything about it and it felt very risky to me. So my friend told me about Chime. I got the credit builder card and it was crazy. I didn't have to worry about interest. I didn't have to worry about fees. It wasn't a credit check. My score is up 80 points. I just finished my feature film and it feels like there's a future ahead to where we're saving up to buy a house. Look, if I can do it, you can do it too. Join me at chime.com.
When you buy 10 tickets on Vivid Seats, you get the 11th ticket free. I wonder what my 11th will be.
Trash!
Living rent-free in a hockey player's head?
Or maybe just make some noise!
What's your 11th?
Every guy is different. That's why we have a play for each one. Square face, wavy hair.
Mid-fade with a textured top. Finish it off with a hard part and taper that neckline, coach.
Nice. She's good.
Well, Allende Hakeem has come out ready to go, knocked down the first bucket for UMass Lowell tonight. The numbers have been impressive, Jim, but what has caught your eye is really the competitive nature of the guard, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a big stage. If you were in this building, you can feel the electricity of this basketball game, and the kids are playing well. So, you look at a kid like Allende Hakeem on a big stage, and that's what he's doing. He's coming out right away and being aggressive and saying, okay, this is going to be a fist fight tonight, and we're going to be ready to go. The kid is just physically fearless. I've said it before, not to raise eyebrows, but he reminds me of a poor man's Allen Iverson. The way he gets in the pain and just the competitiveness. And he came out tonight and said, we're going to be ready to go. Tough one on Sunday. Let's bounce back.
We're approaching the midway point here of the first half in Lowell. Nick Anastas, Jim Borodoka with you. It's college basketball presented by Jersey Mike's here on ESPN Plus. First of two for Robin Duncan. Able to knock down the first to put Vermont back on top by one. It's been a back and forth affair so far, with neither team leading by more than two. Got a sub for Vermont. Matt Barretto is back on. He's an interesting story, Jim, as we know. Bounced around from Delaware to UConn. Ends up here with Vermont after taking a year or so off. So he's been a pleasant addition. He's gotten off to a good start tonight as well, with 5 points for the Catamounts.
Yeah, big kid, strong.
Shot clock down to 10 here for the Riverhawks. Withers in the corner. Good closeout. Going to try and back the defender down. Little shake, the fade off the side iron. Weak side rebound to Deloney. Vermont getting the stop they want. Coach Becker, hands in his pocket at midcourt, directing the offense. UMass Lowell staying in this man-to-man, as they're expected to do all night under Coach Duquette. 10 to shoot. Deloney inside out. Barretto is cut off, and now Duncan will get rid of it. The newcomer is Perry Smith Jr., 6'9" freshman forward. Down to 2 on the clock. Deloney trying to beat the buzzer, comes up short, and that is a shot clock violation. Crowd likes it. Coach Duquette likes it as well, clapping his hands along the home sideline. Withers will take a seat. Quentin Mincy coming back on. He's been in and out of the starting lineup all season long. Going to get his first minutes here as we get a look at that shot clock violation.
Oh, the defense by Yuri Covington right there on that possession against Deloney, a very talented offensive player. He locked him up. Underrated, his high-level defense.
Speaking of Deloney, making a good play under the basket, able to slap it away from Morris. It goes off the knee of Morris and turned back over to the Catamounts.
Vermont's picked it up a little bit defensively. See a quick double right there.
Coach
Moving
Becker
well.
Going to go back to the bench. Duncan, his first rest.
No, Nick, you mentioned Quentin Mincy coming in the game. He started a couple of games for Coach Duquette after really playing well, and really wasn't the same player. Some guys are more comfortable coming off the bench. Quentin Mincy at this young stage of his career might be one of those guys. Interesting to see how he plays tonight.
Gibson is fouled. Well, Coach Duquette rolls his eyes. Vermont able to draw the whistle late in the shot clock as the foul goes against Covington.
Yeah, not sure about that. But again, another example of Yuri Covington's lateral movement. He's so difficult to go by on the perimeter.
Fourth team foul, first on Covington. Free throw in and out for Gibson. Another fifth-year kid out of Cincinnati.
Big kid.
Who has played well for the most part this season. A lot of experience, as we know, on the bench with Vermont.
Perry Smith Jr. just came up the court. 6'9", 225 freshman. Big boy.
Second free throw up and in. Suddenly the lead is 3. It's the largest either way it's been so far, with the midway point now first half.
Vermont has definitely picked it up defensively. Riverhawks need to move the ball around the perimeter. A lot of dribbling here.
Shot clock, meanwhile, is down to 10. Covington got the step. That is rejected off the side of the backboard. Blunt keeps it alive. Covington, a good look in the corner. It's short and out of bounds back to Vermont. That's the third block shot here early on for Iafalea.
Iafalea flying out of nowhere. Just pound that off the glass.
Goes off the side of the backboard.
Goodness.
Look at the elevation of the 6'8" forward.
So talented.
Out of Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Little fadeaway. That one is short. Penn got a good look. Riverhawks the other way. They can tie with a 3. Haven't scored over the last few trips.
Yeah, not much offense in terms of in the paint here. Cam Morris is more of an athletic kid, getting most of his buckets off the, offensive rebounds and in transition.
There's Blunt with a good pivot and a foul on the shot attempt.
No post presence right now for the Riverhawks.
Blunt trying to change that by drawing the foul in the lane. Second foul, by the way, against Veretto for Vermont. So Coach Becker with a decision to make. Perhaps he's going to send Duncan back over to the scorer's table. With just over 9 minutes now to go until halftime. Blunt will get the friendly roll. Good to see him back, Jim. It's been nearly 3 weeks. First action since before the holiday break. And as you said, he's more of a value sometimes off the floor as he is on.
The presence of the captain and of the leader. You know, another kid who immediately, when he came in here as a freshman out of Gonzaga Prep, played right away as a freshman, and he's been playing. I mean, this is a kid that's been playing college basketball now 5 years. So he's a man out there. And that presence is very impactful when you have young players around him.
He's going to get a well-deserved break here as Morris, after a short rest, returns. He's on the floor with Brooks, Hakeem back on, Hammond, and here's Mincy, the defender, on the ball. Vermont coming with Duncan and Gibson at the guards, with Iafalea, Penn, and the big fella is back on the floor as well. That's the 6'9", Perry Smith Jr.
How about Robin Duncan said, I heard me say he's not really an offensive threat. Since then, he's taken over the game.
May have taken it personal. He's got 6.
Prove me along. I like to see kids play well. Prove it wrong.
He's the game's leading scorer right now.
Playing great. See, now Max Brooks has got to get the ball right there.
He's calling for it.
He's got to give it to him just to move the defense, if nothing else.
Interior pass knocked away. Again, that's Iafalea, who gets a piece of the basketball and forces the turnover. Vermont going to slow it down here as we come up on 8 minutes to go first half.
Good decision. The pace was getting a little hectic.
Catamounts trying to make it a 2-possession game. Gibson the fade. No. Morris.
Great rebound.
Aggressive in the lane. Controls for UMass Lowell. UMass Lowell just 1 field goal over the last 4 minutes. Mincy into the lane. Going to change that with the left hand.
Speaking of talent, Quentin Mincy going in the lane, taking the bump. Still finishing strong with the offhand.
Was over the top of the defender as well to get his first 2. Riverhawks are within 1. Duncan into the lane, thought about it. Now the big man attacks the rim and is fouled on his way up. The freshman Perry Smith Jr. will head to the free throw line when we come back. Well, unfortunately, Jim, the Riverhawk family lost a member. Yes. Over the last couple of days.
Yes, good man. Ricky Spencer was a teammate of mine here. This is his dad. He passed away earlier this week. Good guy from Chicago. Would only come along once in a while, you know, because they were from the Midwest. But sharing his wisdom, sharing his knowledge with us. Very genuine guy. And his son, Ricky, was, you know, a dear friend of mine. A great teammate. Really responsible for a lot of the success that I had. Great mentor to me. And, you know, teammates it's a different relationship. And when they suffer a loss like this, you know, we all feel it. So pretty cool that we're able to pay our respects here in a building that this guy right here saw his son put on some shows.
Lyle Thompson is now the leader in career points.
Eleanor Burrius with her first title at the mile distance.
Sorrentine from the parking lot, and the Black Bears have upset Stanford.
Shuts it off. In college basketball, UMBC makes history.
Every time you order a hot sub from Jersey Mike's, It's grilled fresh right in front of you. The sizzling, the chopping, the spatula. That's why I bring this. I call it dinner and a show. Look at that sizzle.
Number 17 for Danny.
Oh, that's mine. Gotta go, Aaron. Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
UMass Lowell's online tuition is among the lowest in the country, and our online programs are ranked among the best. Getting ahead gets easier with UMass Lowell. Visit uml.edu/online.
For me, moving up meant moving on. But the new me needed a new car. DCU understood right away. A better loan meant a better car for a much better job. Yep, much better. What will DCU mean to you?
Well, Any Given Sunday. Yeah. One of my favorite Oliver Stone movies. That was the case in conference this past weekend. Albany defeated UMass Lowell. Never trailed against the Riverhawks and really blew it open in the second half. Shot the ball well from deep, as you can see. And, of course, UNH really shocked the landscape with a win over Vermont. They had a 17-point lead at one point before halftime.
Yeah, again, you talk about, the parity in this conference. Every year going in, it's pretty much everyone's just trying to chop down Vermont. It's not the case this year. It's really going to be a very competitive conference from start to finish. Entertaining.
It's been a back and forth first half so far here at the Costello Athletic Center. Nick Anastas, Jim Borodoka with you. Vermont, a 2-point lead, a 1-for-2 trip following the miss for the big freshman Perry Smith Jr.
I'd like to see the Riverhawks answer the bell here a little bit and take control a little bit offensively, get some confidence. This, I think, is their best team out here when you have Max Brooks and Koulibaly in there together.
Jump shot in and out for Ayak.
Quentin Mincy.
Tip back out for Brooks.
Quentin Mincy.
Hakeem eyeing the rim, wants a second try, and makes the most of it.
Again, I talked earlier about this kid and his moxie, right? He's struggling all year shooting the ball from the three-point line. Biggest game of the year, big stage in front of the crowd, and he's knocked in too early.
The three puts the Riverhawks back in front. 19-18, inside of 7 minutes to go now, first half. Left-hand shot won't go down for Penn, and now a whistle on the rebound, and a foul is going to go against Max Brooks.
Smith Jr. is a handful down there on the glass. Talked about Quentin Mincy, Nick, the athleticism. Look at him get up, giving the team 3 points right there. Might not show up in the stat sheet, but those 3 points will be important as this game continues.
Oh, Deloney, quick pull.
Wow.
Three in and out.
Quick trigger.
Brooks the rebound. Riverhawks looking to push.
Pushing.
Hakeem going to go inside. Koulibaly. Will face-up game now on the baseline against the freshman. Back up top, Hakeem, left hand. Nowhere to go.
Got to get Koulibaly the ball deeper into the paint, Nick, where he can do some work. He's too far out in the short corner. That's not where he's comfortable. That's where he's comfortable.
Going to turn, fire, and score with the left hand. You're right on it, Jim. Koulibaly. Just his second field goal, 4 points early on for UMass Lowell.
He has to be the threat in the game. When he was dominating early, that's when this team was playing their best basketball, and things were opening up on the perimeter for guys. They got to get back to the inside out.
Riverhawk fans chanting defense. Shot clock down to 10. Vermont trailing by 3 for the first time. Deloney to his right. Up top for Duncan. Shot clock at 3. Duncan down the lane. Too strong off the glass. UMass Lowell another stop. Hammond another rebound. Hammond for 3.
Nice.
Everett Hammond going to double the lead. And Coach Becker is going to call for time. Largest lead now either way at 24-18.
Said a couple of minutes ago that was the Riverhawks' best team on the court, and they showed what. But watch Max Brooks pointing to Everett Hammond there, stepping in and setting that rub screen to open him up. Will not show up on the stat sheet, but a winning play by Max Brooks.
Hammond, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, has really come on as of late. He's bumped his season numbers up in the process, now averaging over 12 points per game. Right behind Koulibaly by a fraction of a point in terms of the average on the season. But as you mentioned, Jim, another steady hand in the backcourt and a lot of experience for the grad student.
Yeah, and I think that, these guys have played a lot of basketball at the college level. Maybe not together here at UMass Lowell, but they've played at the college level. And when you play at the college level, you realize that, it's not about who's better than who. It's not about who's eating tonight. Well, it's about what you can do well, what I can do well, what we can all do well to win games. It becomes very clear very early on, or you just don't survive.
Both teams coming into tonight in search of a win after suffering their first conference loss on Sunday. Vermont fell at UNH. UMass Lowell was blown out at Albany. Shot clock down at 10. Duncan in the post. To his right, a foul is called.
Nick, that could be a problem if Duncan recognizes that continuously through this game and he's backing an Indy Akeem down. Not that an Indy Akeem's not going to compete defensively. He can do that, and he's not going to make it easy, but he's going to pick up fouls, and he could get himself into foul trouble.
We're talking 6'5" against 5'11".
Yeah, and a strong 6'5".
Duncan has played well with a team high 6 points, make it 7 in this first half for Vermont. Catamounts back within 5. Coach Becker back to the bench. Big freshman is going to sit. Smith heads to the bench. Got a quick look there at Sam Almuto, the redshirt freshman out of Ajax, Ontario. Didn't play much before heading back to the sideline. 1 for 2 trip there for Duncan. Riverhawks with a 5-point lead. Inside of 5 minutes now remaining first half. Pick and roll. Hammond into the lane is fouled on his way up.
When he's shooting the basketball well, which he has been early on this season, that opens up for him. Vermont kids, these guys, they're reading their scouting reports, and they got to get out on Everett Hammond and be strong on him. He's now able to get to the paint, score, or get to the free throw line.
Had the positioning on Deloney and forced the foul from the senior, his first. Vermont with 4 team fouls now in this first half. Hammond's free throw up and in as the gym goes silent. UMass Lowell coming in tonight at 14-3. Of course, the 14-2 start was their best in Division I program history in now 10 years under Coach Duquette. Suffered their first conference loss, as we know, against Albany, but still, all in all, Jim, 14-3 through 17 games is the start they were hoping for.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was a good 14-3. I mean, they were playing well. They were winning close games. I mean, the NJIT game was just unbelievable how they came back and scored the final 13 of that game. So, again, Alan Blunt's been out. You're getting into conference now. You're coming out of the holidays. There's a lot that can go on to this team really maybe not playing their best the last 3 games.
Duncan can't find the touch in the lane. Wild off the window. Mincy the rebound. Riverhawks up 7. They go inside.
Good matchup right here.
Koulibaly spins to his right. Goes up and under with the left for 2.
Using the rim against the shot blocker. Goes up and under and finishes with the left. Great footwork, Koulibaly.
6 points now for the former big man from St. Bonaventures. Riverhawks with a 9-point lead here as we hit the 4-minute mark. Vermont in need of an answer. Ayufalea trying to give it to him. Can't, but is fouled on the way back up. Good job on the effort side, able to follow his own miss. Knocked to the floor, and he will shoot 2 when we come back. We get a look at Koulibaly going to work in the low post. Riverhawks with their largest lead here, 28-19. You're watching college basketball presented by Jersey Mike's here on ESPN+.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way.
It's your journey. Own every mile in an available H-Track all-wheel drive Hyundai SUV. Get 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months on select Hyundai vehicles. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Well, this resume is getting seen, just not by who you want. You need a better plan.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do.
An Indeed resume is more than a resume. It works harder for you, helping you edit and improve. And it gets you seen by the right people, all without having to do one dance move.
Well, Abdul Karim Koulibaly has brought his A game here tonight. Goes up and under for a couple. Jump hook there, and a moment ago, the reverse layup. 6 points in this first half.
They're a very good team, as I mentioned, when Koulibaly and also Max Brooks are more involved in the game. They got away from that the last 3 games.
Yeah, you take a look at the numbers. After such a blazing start, was really the talk, as you said one time, Jim, of the mid-major level through 12 games. He's been a little quieter, at least on the offensive side, the last couple of ball games. And same thing with Max Brooks, who's going to catch his breath here on the sideline. Brooks just 2 points so far tonight. We're inside of 4 minutes. Riverhawks playing well. That's the main story. 28-20 now after the free throw. Vermont, after leading by as many as 3 through the first 10 minutes or so, now down 7 after the 2-for-2 trip from their big man.
As soon as Coach Duquette went to his bench and he put in this 5 right here, we pointed that out. We said, this is their time to maybe make a big push. And these kids have stepped up, made some plays. They're playing hard, moving the basketball, getting it into this guy.
And Koulibaly is fouled on the catch. Hit on the wrist under the rim. Well, 4 of the 5 starters plus Mincy on the floor right now for UMass Lowell. Mincy, Hammond, the inbounder is Akeem, Koulibaly, and Blunt back on the floor. Vermont going to return with Veretto playing with 2 fouls. Duncan, the 6'9 freshman Smith, is in the middle, while Deloney and Penn round out the 5 in green. Offensive rebound for Hammond.
Good decision. Good decision. Everett Hammond, mature. Could have easily shot that ball, pulled it back out, and pointed in to get it into Koulibaly. Nice to see.
For 3.
Nice to see.
The big man back in the lineup tonight after nearly 3 weeks off. Gets a good square look from one of his favorite spots on the floor, that wing 3.
Absolutely. And you know what? The way he's been playing, as you said, he hasn't played in a game or really practiced much in the last 3 weeks, but he's not out of shape at all. He obviously wasn't sitting on the sidelines doing nothing.
Inside of 3 minutes now until halftime. Shot clock at 5. Veretto can't hit the 3, but an offensive rebound here for Smith. The freshman. Baby hook. Can't get it to go. Koulibaly the rebound. Riverhawks in no hurry. A 10-point lead on the board for the first time.
Nice.
Blunt up and under. Banker for 2.
Nice. Confidence. Saw one go down from deep. Now you got a little bit of rhythm and a little bit of confidence.
Riverhawks starting to put together a pretty good run here. The lead is a dozen for the first time at 33-21. Duncan in search of an answer for Vermont. The drive and kick, the 3 from Penn is no good.
Mincy, good minutes tonight from Quentin Mincy.
Down to 2 minutes remaining. Hakeem off the ball screen, can't get the 16-footer. And then a foul is called in the paint here against who? Against Vermont. It's a grab against the freshman Smith.
Yeah.
Well, Blunt showing you what he can do from the outside. 3-pointer right in his wheelhouse, and then able to follow that basket up with a nice move inside on the next possession. He's got 7 all in all, 2 of 4 with a couple of boards.
Has played well, but you look back at that play right there, miscommunication defensively for Vermont. I'm sure Coach Becker's not happy with that. I mean, you had 2 guys that went down to the baseline to cover Yinde Akeem and left Allen Blunt wide open.
Meanwhile, the foul is actually on Mincy. It's got Coach Duquette upset. It leads to a 1-and-1, but the front end is short by Smith. The Riverhawks now have it. Mincy, by the way, with 2 fouls, 18 fouls against the Riverhawks. This goes off the leg of Hammond, turned over out of bounds back to Vermont. The grad student taps himself on the chest and says, my bad.
Minute and 44 seconds left. You can certainly feel a little bit of the momentum shift right now with Vermont. UMass Lowell has to hold their ground here. Last 2 minutes and go into the half on a positive note.
Coach Duquette going to bring a little more size onto the floor with the sophomore Morris returning.
I mean, him and Max Brooks out there. A lot of athleticism, a lot of length. Guys that go after the basketball.
Final 90 seconds first half. Coming up at halftime, full recap, stats, highlights, analysis. Look at the news and notes from around the America East as well. Meanwhile, foul here. It's going to go against Morris, his first, and now 9 team fouls against the Riverhawks.
Yeah.
Just 5 on the other side against Vermont.
I'll tell you, I have to retract my statement. I hadn't seen Vermont play, just the numbers, really all year. And I misspoke when I said that Duncan Robinson offensively isn't a heck of a lot better than I had mentioned. He's playing great. I mean, he's shooting the ball from the outside. He's putting it to the deck. He's putting pressure on the Riverhawk defenders, picking up fouls, getting himself to the free throw line.
He's had the ball in his hand a lot.
Yeah.
Hands a lot today.
Stable force with the ball in his hands, knows where guys should be.
Goes 1 for 2 there. He's got a team high 8 points. Trying to keep Vermont within shouting distance here. Riverhawks still a big lead, 33-22. Final minute 20 first half. Hakeem Blunt trying to stay hot, and does.
Excellent. Great to see. Just brings a different dynamic to the basketball team. You know, you don't realize how big he is until you actually stand next to him. He's a big, strong kid. He's putting pressure on you physically, and he can play. Shoots the ball well.
Listed at 6'7", 205. And he's playing his first competitive action in nearly a month. He's got 10 points in his first half to lead all scorers. Final 45 seconds. Riverhawks a 14-point lead, but Vermont forces another turnover.
Alan Blunt got fouled there on the perimeter by Duncan. No call. Good to let him play. This kid Perry Smith, I'll tell you what, he's young and he's a freshman, but wait till you see that kid in 3 years. He's going to be a handful in this conference.
Got a timeout here. Coach Duquette with the shot clock now turned off. He's going to spend a timeout and draw something up with 22 seconds remaining. His team with their largest lead on the board at 36-22. Meanwhile, Blunt talked about it, Jim. Such a presence, the elder statesman, as they lovingly call him.
Yep.
And again, has really polished his game on the offensive side. The last couple of seasons has added some range to his game. Very fundamentally sound. Yes. Originally, as we know, out of Gonzaga Prep. And as you just said a moment ago, adds another dynamic for Coach Duquette.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. As I said, he played right away as a freshman. But, you know, it was funny. You know, we would talk all the time. He had a hard time making shots. I mean, he missed layups. But he was so valuable as a presence on the court because he understands how the game's played. He was well coached in high school, and he just has a nice natural feel. Last year, he still had that, and then he started making shots, and he became a very good player last year.
And, of course, his brother Anthony Blunt has continued to be missed on the end of the Riverhawk bench, out with an injury, and not expected to return this season. All right, final shot here of the first half. Riverhawks with a 36-22 lead. Coach Duquette in the ear of his point guard. Hakeem, one eye on the clock, down to 7 seconds. Wants a one-on-one with Deloney. Crossover. And a foul here at the free throw line. Shot goes up. They're going to wave it off.
Good matchup right there.
Foul happens first on the floor. Vermont had 1 to give, so a smart foul with inside of now 3 seconds remaining, 2.7 to be exact.
What's smarter in that situation, right, as Coach Duquette called a timeout, get the ball in your most fearless player's hands here and live or die with him in the last 22 seconds, and the Indy Hakeem picks up a foul. Oh, nice.
Covington couldn't get it.
Yeah.
And that's going to do it for the first half.
It's a nice reaction defensively there by Deloney.
Riverhawks through 20 minutes, their largest lead on the board at halftime. 36.
Have 2. If something happens and he picks up that third in the first 3 to 4 minutes, that will change the trajectory of this game.
Of course, his teammate Connor Withers with 2 personal fouls in that first half as well. Vermont saw Matt Veretto pick up a couple. He finished with 7 points in that first half, the former UConn Husky. Riverhawks open up defensively the same way they opened up the game. That's the half-court man. They have not strayed from that look tonight. In and out for Penn, and then a foul here on the rebound. The 2 big men really going at it. Ayo Falea able to draw the foul against Koulibaly, and Jim right on cue. Unfortunately for the Riverhawks, he picks up his third.
Wow, only took 23 seconds for him to pick up that third. He's got to be super careful right now.
Jump shot off the curl. Won't go for Gibson. Riverhawks force another stop.
Ayo Falea, his impact again, his motor, his aggressiveness, the athleticism.
Had 3 blocks defensively in the first
It was just
half.
all over the court.
And they're going to get Ayo Falea here with a grab. So that grappling match in the paint between these two continues. That'll be the second on Ayo Falea, the redshirt sophomore. 1 team foul now each way.
Nick, you made a very good point earlier on. Cam Morris, Sunday at Albany, which no one played well. 7 for 7, played really well. This is an opportunity for him, again, to contribute.
Back on the floor early here.
Good pass.
Here is Morris to the right hand. Left it short. Ayo Falea the rebound.
Thought Cam Morris could have kicked that out. Everett Hammond was wide open on the wing there. Should have kicked that one out.
Going to pick up a foul here on the other end as well, trying to challenge along the sideline, try to jump the passing lane, but got a little bit of body there. He's going to pick up his second.
On the other side of that, the Cam Morris, the aggressiveness. That's what makes him good. That motor, that aggressiveness. So you have to live with, that play right there where he probably should have given that one up after his initial move. Didn't work.
Vermont hoping to heat up. They're struggled from the floor tonight, and that one won't go either. Ayo Falea tied up, jammed up by Blunt. Keem going to skip it over the top for Hammond. Neither team has scored since halftime. Brooks inside, trying to change that for UMass Lowell. Hammond off the extra pass, 3-pointer. Won't go from the wing.
That's a good shot, though, Nick. That's good basketball. Inside to Max, who got it back out for an open look.
Duncan the spin, and then the ball is ruled out of bounds off Vermont. It was blocked by Akeem. It rolled off of Duncan's back after he landed out of bounds. We get a look there. Good defensive play, and then, yes, last touched by the Vermont guard.
And a good no call by the official. I mean, that definitely looked like could have been a foul, but there really wasn't much contact.
I think the officiating has been pretty good so far.
I agree. Oh, good look. Good catch.
Morris just left it a bit short. Everything there execution-wise but the finish.
Excellent catch.
Meanwhile, Penn lost his footing in the lane, lost the ball as well. Brooks.
Good decision.
Now Akeem looking to lead the break.
Oh,
into
that's
the
a
corner
great look.
For Blunt, 3-pointer in the hole.
Yeah, how about the pass by Ayinde Akeem through traffic, finding the captain. Played great tonight, Alan Blunt.
13 points, a game high. Playing in his first game since late December. Giving the Riverhawks an instant lift. How about a 17-point lead on the board right now for UMass Lowell? Meanwhile, Duncan and Hammond exchange pleasantries after the whistle's blown and a foul is handed out at Hammond.
Robin Duncan taking over. Look at this look, though. Oh,
a little bit of a no look.
Pretty.
And Blunt wide open in the corner, able to square up. Knocks another down from downtown. 13 points here. And has done a little bit of work defensively and on the glass tonight as well. Meanwhile, Vermont hoping to get this kid going. Deloney. Going to go one-on-one with Akeem. Fadeaway is up and in on the baseline.
Tough. Great use of the body there. A little bump to draw some space so he could get that one off.
Only 2 points in that first half. Doubles his total there. Akeem for 3.
Third one for Ayinde Akeem.
Got the answer for the Riverhawks. Home crowd fired up. A good audience tonight in Costello, despite the fact the students are still not back from winter break just yet, but a lot of folks from the community turning out anyway. As we mentioned, Vermont has brought down a pretty good amount of fans in their own right. Deloney into the lane, double pump, short. This one up for grabs off the glass. Loose in the corner, and Akeem gets to it again. Riverhawks
good pass.
Looking to push. The trailer is blunt. The three is too strong. Loose ball off the ground, tipped over to Brooks. Brooks, a slashing move, scores off the glass.
Riverhawks are making winning plays right now, Nick. Up 20.
Coach Duquette loving it. The 10-year coach on his feet, clapping his hands. Riverhawks with a 44-24 lead. Vermont just one field goal so far since halftime. Nearly 4 minutes in.
Max.
That one is blocked off the glass by Brooks. Riverhawks continuing to get stops. Blunt, same spot, same result.
Why not? Moving the basketball, everyone gets a touch. Max Brooks on the defensive side, getting it all started.
Coach Brooks wants to talk it over. Timeout Vermont. Riverhawks starting to blow this one open, 47-24. You're watching college basketball presented by Jersey Mike's here on ESPN+.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way. I got a feeling. You know what thrills me.
It's your journey. Own every mile in an available H-Track all-wheel drive Hyundai SUV. Get 2.9% APR financing for up to 48 months on select Hyundai vehicles. Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
I'm a screen-addicted tween, and if I'm not posting on
Social media?
I don't feel seen. Oh my God, Mom, you gotta look at
Nope.
this.
Keeping my eyes on the road is paying off with DriveWise.
Boring. Get DriveWise from Allstate and save for avoiding mayhem, like me.
Some people are born to hustle. They just know their way around a good deal. That's why we hired them all. At Marshall's, our buyers hustle every day for the brands you love. They can tell the quality to cost ratio simply by touch and know what makes bone china different from porcelain. Impressive. But most importantly, they know that that bag is amazing, so we'll take them all for the right price. We get the deals, you get the good stuff. Marshall's.
My new collection celebrates the light, airy feeling of spring. Find new favorites for a spring bedding refresh, only at Target.
The Riverhawks threatening to blow this one open here 4 minutes into the second half. They've come out on fire. They have built on their 14-point halftime lead. And right now, nearly doubling the Vermont Catamounts, 47-24. Nick Anastas, Jim Borodoka here in Lowell. Both teams coming in looking to shake off a loss.
Nice job, Cam Morris.
And improve to 3-1 in the America East Conference.
Look at Cam Morris work down there.
Battling off ball with Veretto. Vermont with 5 to shoot. Duncan gets 2 in the post.
Wow, so impressive. He's carrying them right now. It's literally carrying. Someone needs to step up and help Robin Duncan.
It's the first to double figures for Vermont with 10.
Nice.
Brooks hangs, can't get it off the glass,
Look
follows his
Brooks
own miss, goes
going
back
after
up with the
it.
jump hook. In and out, no good, and a rebound for Vermont's
great effort.
Alamutu. 5 minutes gone by, second half. Catamounts trying to climb back in the game, one bucket at a time, as Penn gets it over the lip of the rim with the left hand.
Wow, Penn bullying.
Full court pressure from Vermont.
Penn and Hammond are chirping. These two are going at it a little bit. Up, jump the passing lane.
Alamutu to the rim for 2. Able to throw it down with the right hand, and all of a sudden Vermont has rattled off 6 unanswered.
Coach Duquette going to get Yuri Covington right now.
Riverhawks had opened up this second half on an 11-3 run. Vermont has scored the last 6 and are back within 17. You're watching college basketball presented by Jersey Mike's here on ESPN+.
Why UMass Lowell? UMass Lowell is opportunity, involvement, diversity,
confidence, curiosity.
I learned how to work hard. I learned how to be persistent. I learned you get back what you put in.
So why UMass Lowell?
No matter the size of your business, Fred C. Church is here to support you.
From small business owners to CEOs.
Human service providers.
To educators.
Our clients come first.
Because it's not just the policy,
it's the people.
It's the people.
It's the people. Find out for yourself at fredcchurch.com.
Want to move forward faster? UMass Lowell offers accelerated online options to help you elevate your skills, increase your earning power, and complete your degree faster than ever before. Getting ahead gets easier with UMass Lowell.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. Ticket Smarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the Ticket Smarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think Ticket Smarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed at Ticketsmarter.com.
America isn't a place, it's an idea. It's beautiful because of what is added to it, and because it's always changing. That's what makes it strong. That's what makes it great. For over 100 years, we've been more than just a financial institution. We've provided free financial education and college scholarships. We've volunteered and believed in people's dreams. A first home, a new business. Jeanne d'Arc Credit Union. We've built it together.
Back here in Lowell, Nick Anastas, Jim Borodoka with you. It's college basketball presented by Jersey Mike's here on ESPN+. Riverhawks opening up the second half on a 13-3 run. Vermont responded with 6 in a row until Hakeem gets another field goal in the lane. He's in double figures now, the second Riverhawk to do so with 11. And the lead is pushed back up to 19 at 49-30. Catamounts, after a back and forth, really first 10-11 minutes of the game, fell behind by double digits at halftime as the Riverhawks closed out the first half on a 22-5 run. That run continued with UMass Lowell scoring 11 of the first 14 since halftime. Vermont a mini 6-0 run a moment ago. We get the Hakeem bucket, and that is where we are here, 49-30. Both teams hoping to improve to 3-1 in the America East. The loser will suffer their second straight defeat and drop to 2-2.
Well, you mentioned it during the break, Nick. Responding is the theme of this game right now for the Riverhawks. I mean, they really struggled, and that was a bad loss Sunday at Albany. Don't know what the situation was. Talked to Pat. He said, hey, it was a good thing that we lost. So maybe there was some complacency setting in there. I mean, these are still kids, you know, and they're reading about themselves an awful lot. So nice to see them respond tonight, not necessarily by dominating the game, but by coming out and understanding the gravity of the game. It's a big stage. Vermont's here. You know, even though this might not be the same Vermont teams as the past, it's still Vermont. You know, and they're still bringing the tradition. They're still bringing probably 300 fans.
Right. And
you know what I mean?
Still the preseason number one, according to the coaches poll.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and, you know, it's nice to see them respond.
UMass Lowell, of course, was third in that preseason poll. Penn to his left. 2 more.
Penn.
Starting to elevate his game in the second half.
Making a little bit of noise, a little full court pressure here. Look to see Mikey Watkins come in and maybe settle some things down if Vermont makes a little bit of a run here or the Riverhawks struggle offensively. But you don't want Mincy bringing the ball up here. This is where you want it right now.
point guard going to take over. Akeem looks at Coach Duquette. They go into the high post for Blunt. He's fouled.
Everything's competitive.
On the catch, a little bit of a reach there from behind the defender. Alamutu tagged with his first. Third team foul against Vermont. Already 5 on the other side against UMass Lowell. Just 7 minutes into this second half. Three-pointer on the way. Covington can't find the stroke. Duncan the weak side rebound.
It's a quick one right there.
Catamounts trying to go inside. They skip it instead, and it's tipped out of bounds by Coulibaly.
Trying to go inside, and Yuri Covington, who's only about 5'10", didn't let it happen.
Tough as nails.
Tough as nails. Just understands spacing, gets in front of guys, angles.
Jimmy called for Watkins. Here he comes. Didn't play much in that first half. Going to replace Akeem here and run the show for UMass Lowell.
Stabilizing presence on the floor.
Duncan leaves it up top. Ayufaleo can't get it. Tipped out. Back to you, UMass Lowell.
Coulibaly, good job right there defensively, especially with that third. Held his ground. Disciplined enough not to come down with those hands when he had them up.
Catamounts doubling Watkins off the inbound. Trying to force someone else to bring it up. Covington does, and now gives way to Watkins. Vermont going to fall back into an extended man-to-man here.
Vermont bringing up the pressure a little bit here.
Trying to trap, maybe?
Just got to move the basketball. Don't get caught into attacking, and then you got two guys coming at you.
Covington
Be
inside.
disciplined like that.
May have had it blocked on the way up.
Be disciplined. Understand that you're not just getting by that initial guy. They're running and jumping right now.
Ayufaleo had 3 blocks in that first half. May have gotten a piece of that last one as well. Here's Duncan against Watkins. Into the lane. The left hand rolls off the rim. Covington going to slow it down the other way. Riverhawks gone cold here over the last couple of trips.
Good pass.
Still get a 16-point lead on the board. There's a foul first on the floor here. And it's against Vermont. It's going to go against Ayufaleo. And that'll bring us to a break in the action. Nearing the midway point, second half. Riverhawks in the driver's seat. UMass Lowell out in front, 49-33 over Vermont. You are watching college basketball presented by Jersey Mike's here on ESPN+.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way.
I'm a screen-addicted tween, and if I'm not posted on
Social media?
I don't feel seen. Oh my God, Mom, you gotta look at
No,
this.
keeping my eyes on the road is paying off with DriveWise.
Boring. Get DriveWise from Allstate, save for avoiding mayhem, like me.
No.
You want him?
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. When you gotta get it done, just one sheet is all you need. Because one sheet of Bounty absorbs more than theirs, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Get the job done with one. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
When there's real strawberries, crunchy almonds, smooth yogurty clusters, and crisp toasted flakes.
Happy to format it for you.
What else can you do but dig in? Special K, do what's delicious.
Everybody want to see the best. They came to see us. Let's put on the show, baby. All right, go there. Let's go through the first. Let's go.
Well, tonight is the 19th all-time meeting between these two schools. Vermont has had the advantage, 15-3. Riverhawks looking for their first win over the Catamounts in over 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, Vermont has been the gold standard in this conference for a very long time.
Catamounts 8-2 on the road between Costello and across the street at the Tsongas Center. Tonight, though, maybe a different story. Riverhawks have led most of the way by 14 at the break, by as many as 23 here in the second half. Vermont has trimmed the gap somewhat, and the margin right now 16 at 49-33. Riverhawks have also gone cold over the last handful of trips.
I'll tell you, Koulibaly had excellent position right there, real deep. Alan Blunt tried to make that pass, that entry from the top of the key. He needs to go 2 dribbles to the left and give a little bit more of an angle on that pass. Big man's working that high, you got to get it to him.
Meanwhile, on the other end, Mincy is going to pick up a foul.
Connor Withers.
And head to the bench as Withers returns. Hammond will replace Covington as well, so it's Watkins, Hammond, Blunt, Withers, and Koulibaly for the 5 in white. Vermont, Alamutu and Deloney at the guards. 3-pointer offered up there from Gibson, won't go. Penn and Veretto round out the 5 for Vermont. Coming up at the midway point, second half. Riverhawks looking for breathing room. 16-point lead still on the board. We've been stuck at 49-33 for a while.
Connor Withers, we didn't see much of him after some pretty good early minutes. Good pass.
Withers is wide open. The 3, too short.
Picked up those early fouls. That's what happened. Got out of rhythm.
Veretto the rebound. Vermont the other way. Penn in attack mode. Withers got a piece.
Out of rhythm, but
outlet
good
stolen though. Penn backdoor, 2-hand finish. That's Alamutu with a strong 2-handed take, and Coach Duquette is not happy. Timeout, Riverhawks. Alamutu with 5 points now off the bench. He's got Vermont back within 14 at 49-35.
You knew Vermont wasn't going to go away. Kids are going to play hard. They're going to compete regardless of the score.
Catamounts trying to avoid a second straight conference loss.
Yeah, haven't said
Doesn't
that.
happen very often.
Have not said that.
They're upset on Saturday by UNH. That game was in Durham. Wildcats played out in front most of the game there, led by as many as 17 in the first half before getting the job done in the end, 67-60. Riverhawks, of course, coming off really their worst loss of the season against Albany.
Yep, it was just one of those days.
Well, Vermont always looking to challenge themselves during the non-conference portion of the schedule. Coach Becker scheduling 5 tournament teams.
Yeah.
And how about the month of November? Grueling as they travel for 19 of 21 days at one stretch. Over 8,400 miles traveled in that span.
What an unbelievable experience for the kids on this team. Right? Imagine what went on those trips, the bonds, the experiences. Oh, good look.
Koulibaly left it short. Second try is in. Well, he robs Hammond of an assist there.
Yeah, Hammond's playing well. Seeing a lot more in his game this year like that right there. You didn't see that from him last year. He wasn't putting it to the deck and finding many guys.
Speaking of putting it to the deck, how about Penn?
Where was he in the first half?
Starting to operate. All 6 of his points have come here in the second half, to your point.
And been very aggressive.
Keeping Vermont within shouting distance, 51-37. Past the midway point now, second half. Catamounts really stretching this man.
Yeah, they are.
All the way to midcourt here. Meanwhile, Watkins is called for a travel. Coach Duquette wanted a foul.
Great defensive possession right there. The Catamounts. I mean, they just didn't let him breathe. Mikey, unfortunately, he did get pretty deep in the paint right there. Just lost his footing because of the pressure he was getting.
Alamutu will sit for Vermont. A well-deserved rest. Deloney over to the Catamount bench as well, having a quick word with Coach Becker. We get another look at the big man, Iofalea, who returns along with Veretto, Duncan, Gibson, and the red-hot Dylan Penn. Catamounts a chance to trim the lead to 14 here. Veretto trying to make it 12. No, but a foul, and it's going to be a 3-point shot, which means 3 free throws on the way here for Veretto.
Yeah, Veretto, for a kid who hasn't played much basketball, And it's kind of bounced around. He's looked great.
Yeah.
And he's aggressive, confident shooting it.
Well, did play his freshman year at Delaware back in 2018, 2019. Then, of course, we had the COVID-19 situation. Went to UConn to earn a finance degree and returned to the hardwood this year with Vermont.
Good for him.
His first collegiate game back in the Catamounts opener was his first game in over 1,300 days.
Wow.
And he has put up some numbers tonight as well. It's his first point since the first half. He's working with 7. Subs again. Coach Duquette goes to the bench this time. Covington, after a short rest, return. He's on the floor with Hammond, Hakeem, Blunt, and Koulibaly.
Vermont picking up full court here.
The lead just 11.
Yep. Change in control of this game due to the defense we've seen from the Catamounts.
Coming up with 9 minutes to go, second half. Riverhawks need a basket. Blunt up top, over to Hakeem. Thought about it. Wants to pick now. Shot clock down to 10. Double team comes. Skip into the corner. Covington for 3. You bet.
How about the pass by Ayinde Hakeem? Getting pressure, double coming, having the poise and the vision to find Yuri. Oh, good screen.
Covington knocked down, wanted to foul.
Wow.
Ball ends up out of bounds.
You know what, though?
Vermont.
Look at Yuri Covington. He's going to get right back up. He's going to get right back up.
Another tough kid, as we've mentioned.
Tough kid. Strong.
Coach Duquette trusting him to guard Penn right now. He's
Yeah.
been the go-to guy for Vermont. Meanwhile, Duncan going to power up. 2 more off the window. Got it over Hammond.
Duncan just recognizing the advantage he had size-wise there over Everett Hammond. Just backed him in, shot right over him.
Got a team high 12 points. The lead back to 12.
Good step through right there.
Or down to 12, I should say. At 54-42. Another foul on Veretto. Had 2 early fouls in the first half. Picks up his 3rd as we get a look at that beautiful pass. Covington.
Yep.
Pretty lefty shot to watch.
Look
and
at
then
this.
here's that
Tough
pick.
screen.
Was clean.
It
Gibson
definitely was clean.
Gibson got him pretty good.
Absolutely. As soon as
Tagged him pretty.
Covington got up, he looked at Ayinde Hakeem and he was like, "You got to tell me that's coming."
Yeah. It's the type of screen that'll lead a bruise.
Oh yeah, he's going to feel that.
You know, this one tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with UMass Lowell. 14 to shoot. Just over 8 minutes to go, second half. Coach Duquette waving his arms. Shot clock at 8. Hakeem into the lane. In and out.
Great pull-up, though.
Penn the board.
He'll live with that.
Penn behind the back, looking to attack Covington.
Wow, good defense, better offense.
Little fade, little right hand. And all of a sudden, it's a 10-point game. The Vermont fans starting to get loud on the far side.
Physical game within the game. Yuri Covington and Penn battling. 2 tough kids, strong.
Koulibaly with 10 to shoot.
No double coming. There it comes. Too
To
late.
his left.
Too late. Too
Got
late.
it. It's almost automatic when it's that deep.
Yeah. Duncan Robinson's got to either come down and let him get rid of it. Once he starts heading towards the middle and drops that shoulder, very tough to stop.
Lead is 12 again,
Oh,
Vermont.
thought he walked there. Uh-oh.
Go back down the lane. 2-hand stuff for Sam Alamutu. Red shirt freshman, the Canadian.
Another. Where was he in the first half?
Checks in big time with the stuff. He's got 7 all. 7 since halftime.
You could see that coming.
Hakeem for 3.
Number
He's got the
4.
answer.
Number 4. Big stage is where you see tough kids.
Hakeem starting to put it together tonight. 14 points. 3 Riverhawks in double figures. And a 13-point lead now on the board. Riverhawks starting to heat up. 59-46 here in Lowell. You're watching college basketball presented by Jersey Mike's.
Lyle Thompson is now the leader in career points.
Eleanor Purias with her first title at the mile distance.
Sorrentine from the parking lot. And the Black Bears
be kidding me. Thankfully, I refinanced my car loan with DCU. A lower rate, lower payments. A little extra for times like this. What will DCU mean to you?
America isn't a place. It's an idea. It's beautiful because of what is added to it. And because it's always changing. That's what makes it strong. That's what makes it great. For over 100 years, we've been more than just a financial institution. We've provided free financial education and college scholarships. We volunteered and believed in people's dreams. A first home, a new business. Jeanne d'Arc Credit Union. We've built it together.
There's a whole lot of different opportunities out there. Don't fear to fail. And you learn from your experiences. Then you learn how to become the best version of you, and you learn what you really like. You're the one who decides your fate. Just stay focused.
Well, Yende Akeem came over a couple of seasons ago from LaSalle and has made an impact ever since. The senior bringing his A game again tonight. 14 points for the Riverhawks. They've got a 13-point lead with now inside of 7 minutes to go here at Costello.
I mean, he's just relentless. You know, tough kid. You know, what people don't realize is when you say he transferred down from LaSalle, LaSalle's in the Atlantic 10. I mean, that's a mid-major program. You know, so it's no accident that this kid can do some of the things that he can do. But what I'm super impressed is his game's really matured this year. You know, he's a lot more in control now. But, I mean, this is a big stage, and these guys are coming off a game where they came in here wounded. And I tell you, I'm just so impressed with the way that he's come out right from the gate and said, okay, we're going to live and die with how either you're going to follow me in here or I'm going at it alone. And I think the team just followed right along.
A big January affair between two of the better teams in the America East Conference. Both teams suffered their first in-conference loss back on Sunday to slip to 2-1 in the America East.
Good help, Yuri.
Both teams hoping to get back to their winning ways tonight. The loser will slip to 2-2. Here's Penn. Jump hook, in and out, no. Ball up for grabs in the lane. Ends up with Covington, and the home team has it. Riverhawks, after a back-and-forth 10 minutes or so, made a push before halftime to take a double-digit lead, went on a 22-5 run late in that first half and led it 36-22 at halftime. They pushed that lead up to 23 at one point.
Great defense.
In the opening minutes of this second half, Vermont has tried to chip away ever since. Meanwhile, Duncan off the glass, won't go. Covington again ends up with the loose ball. It's been kicked out of bounds and will belong to the Riverhawks with now inside of 6 minutes remaining.
A lot of credit to Koulibaly right there for holding his ground defensively and still making it miserable for the guy trying to shoot, but not really contesting it to the point where he could pick up a foul.
Koulibaly's got to walk that fine line a bit here as well, playing with 3 fouls. Has seen his minutes limited a bit in the second half as a result. Meanwhile, Blunt is back on the floor, and a great fake there.
How about the game this kid's played tonight?
Gets it to his right. 10 in the first half, another 8 cents. 18 is the game high. Again, Blunt, another storyline tonight, playing in his first game in nearly a month. Backdoor slip, count it, and one. It's Duncan. Took it at Hammond.
Robin Duncan.
And has a chance for one more. Duncan holding his own tonight with 14 points.
Continues to fight, right? No quit.
One of 2 Evansville, Indiana natives on this squad. Dylan Penn, the other, also enjoying a big second half tonight. Meanwhile, this free throw is waved off. Weren't quite ready, I guess, over at the scorers table. Now we are. With 5.5 to go, still a 13-point lead for UMass Lowell. Second for Duncan is no good. Around the rim and out. Both teams have missed a couple of free throws tonight.
Coach Duquette telling the guys, slow it down a little bit. Let's make their defense work. Work a little bit of clock. Try to get something easy.
Coming up at the 5-minute mark. Shot clock at 10. Pass tipped. Blunt able to keep it. And then is fouled in the lane.
winning play right there. Alan Blunt, that loose ball, went in there, got it, and was able to kick it back out. Had that not been a foul, that's an open jump shot. I mean, look at him go after this basketball right here. But then presence of mind to find him. And
Riverhawks starting to collect some of these 50-50 balls.
yes, really. Yep, experience. That's what I think of when I watch Alan Blunt play. You're seeing a kid with a lot of very valuable experience.
Been efficient tonight as well. 6 of 9 from the floor, including 4 of 7 from deep.
At Hammond.
Hits the deck hard. Foul there by Duncan, who's frustrated. Slammed the basketball into the ground and draws a couple of jeers from this Riverhawk crowd. Perhaps flirting with a technical there. Just his first foul. Both teams are now in the bonus.
You know, in all honesty,
let it go, right?
Yeah.
At least the first one.
Let it go. I mean, he's a good kid. He's playing hard. You know, he's not trying to show anybody up. I mean,
you get a look at that.
You have to be able to deviate. Yeah, I mean, now the ball goes to the air and the whole world sees it, then he's getting a technical for that. But come on, that's a great no call by this crew.
Foul here. It's over the back on Koulibaly, and that is number 4. Former transfer from St. Bonaventure going to have to sit now for Coach Duquette.
Now this is where the Riverhawks sometimes get themselves into trouble because they fall in love with the perimeter play, right? And they wind up at the end of the shot clock taking a tough three-point shot. No reason why you can't dump it into Alan Blunt and Max Brooks still.
Meanwhile, the foul situation starting to creep up as well. 19 fouls now. So the next will mean a double bonus.
Violation.
Just over 5 minutes to go in this second half. A violation will give the ball to UMass Lowell.
Wow.
So no point. It stays 62-48.
The freshman. Lapse in judgment.
Hakeem double teamed in the corner. Launches it to the far side for Hammond. We have a timeout from Coach Duquette. Coach sensed his guy was in trouble and looks to draw it up here.
It was an excellent trap. I mean, that's the last place on the court. I know it's monotonous to say, but that's the last place on the basketball court you want to be in this situation, is right in that corner.
Well, we mentioned at halftime some of the struggles the Riverhawks have had lately in the second half. Not the case tonight. They had a 14-point lead at the break, extended that to as many as 23 before Vermont decided to respond. But really, we've seen some timely baskets tonight, including that 3 from Covington. Penn has elevated his game, trying to keep the Catamounts in it. And just when you thought it was safe, Hakeem drops another 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think, this has been a game of ebbs and flows, right? I mean, Vermont came out strong, Riverhawks responded. Vermont made a little bit of a comeback. Riverhawks responded. I mean, the reality is that's a sign of a good team for UMass Lowell to kind of get punched in the mouth like that and be able to respond by playing well. But also, this is also a fairly young Vermont team, too. So for Coach Becker, he's looking at it and saying, hey, my guys have the ability to come in and play a very good basketball team, and they can make runs. They're not getting blown out of the gym here.
It is a little bit of a different mix for Coach Becker, who's now in his 12th season. You look up and down this Vermont roster, a lot of fifth-year seniors and a lot of redshirt freshmen.
Yeah.
And not a whole lot in between. So kind of a changing of the guard, perhaps.
Yes, without a doubt.
In Burlington in terms of the roster. But one thing we know with this Catamount squad, they're going to be in the hunt when it's all said and done year in and year out.
Yeah, and I think with the importance of the transfer portal in terms of recruiting, if you're a kid looking to drop down to this level, Vermont's a place you want to go. I mean, there's 300 fans, or a couple hundred fans that travel to watch these guys play. It's the only show in town up there in Burlington, and it's just a great program.
Arguably the best atmosphere in the America East. Up there at the Leary Gymnasium. Hakeem, again, high off the floor, gets it over the bigger defender. 16 now for the senior.
Best game I've seen him play since he's arrived on campus.
Three-pointer off the glass. Barreto. Catamounts hoping to put together maybe one last push here, Jim. The bulge is 13 once again after the made three, but the clock starting to become a factor with just 4:21 remaining.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a quick break and come right back for the final 4:21. You're watching college basketball presented by Jersey Mike's.
Eat like a king who's on a budget. 3 tasty options, fries, drink, and nuggets, all for $5. Wait, that can't be right. Just confirm that that's the real price. BK, have it your way.
When you buy 10 tickets on Vivid Seats, you get the 11th ticket free. I wonder what my 11th will be.
Hey, you're trash!
Living rent-free in a hockey player's head?
Or maybe just make some noise!
What's your 11th?
I can laugh, I can smile.
This time could be up there with the greatest of times. And it starts now.
You gotta be kidding me!
Well, again, Allende Akeem coming up with another timely bucket, and that's been the case all night. The guard with 16 points and 6 assists, and has now cashed in on 4 3-pointers.
You know, I tell you what, he just, if he starts shooting the basketball like this for the rest of the year and be that type of threat with Everett Hammond on the perimeter, this team is going to be a handful, even more so than they are with the great bigs they have.
And again, Coach Duquette hoping his squad can close the deal over the final 4:21 as we look at Akeem's numbers. A win tonight would be number 15 overall, as the Riverhawks would improve to 15-3. More importantly, 3-1 in the America East. All right, more full court press from Vermont coming out of this timeout, as they have pressed most of this second half. Covington trying to avoid the trap. Slices into the front court, goes all the way to the cup and gets it to go with the left
How about
hand.
that talent?
Yuri Covington, 7 points off the bench. And a big basket there to push the lead back to 15. Catamounts need a response. Inside of 4 minutes, they go inside, and there's a lefty finish for Veretto. Veretto with 13.
He's played well tonight.
Yeah.
Big, strong kid, versatile.
Meanwhile, Akeem going one-on-one against Penn here. In no hurry between the circles. Steps on the gas as Hammond in the corner. Shot clock down to 10. And he's out of bounds. Have that back foot on the line. A rare Riverhawks second half turnover gives it back to Vermont.
Everett Hammond has to be ready to shoot that ball. Clock's running down.
Had the spacing. Right?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need much space to get it off. He's got to understand the situation a little bit better than that.
Quick word there between Coach Becker and Io Falea. Catamounts looking for one more push here. With 3:20 to go, they're going to draw a Riverhawk foul against Covington in the lane. And again, it's double bonus time now. 10 team fouls against the home team. That's number 3 against Covington.
Well, the strategy is obvious right here. They're starting to pound the ball inside to try to exploit the advantage they have size-wise over the smaller guards, Yuri Covington and Allende Akeem.
Vermont struggled from the floor in that first half. Just 6 of 24 overall and 2 for 10 from deep. Second half much better. And to your point, Jim, they've only taken 2 threes since halftime. Barreto has held his own tonight. 14 points despite the missed free throw. Offensive rebound, Duncan, left-hand finish.
Duncan continues to press.
The Catamount fans who made the, 3-hour trip down from Burlington, hoping to see a comeback here with 3 minutes to go. Vermont is within 10, and they force another turnover. Hammond, again, is whistled out of bounds.
Everett Hammond's just a better player than that. You got to understand where you are on the court. Understand the situation.
Catamounts, a chance to make it a single-digit game again for the first time since the first half. Barreto 3, no.
Good
Covington,
rebound.
a skying board in traffic, and he's going to power out with a dribble.
Got Alan Blunt ahead.
Duncan almost picked his pocket. A foul is called instead. Coach Becker throwing up his arms, didn't like the call. 8 team fouls against the Catamounts, number 2 against Duncan. A 1-and-1 on the way for UMass Lowell as we get a look at that big grown man rebound.
Man, fun to watch. Now, you talk about this kid. Comes off the bench, right? Competes, plays hard, doesn't, everyone wants to start and the rest of that nonsense. This kid understands. Any other team, he's your starting wing guard and he can handle the point. He's a combo guard, right?
Yeah.
Any other team, he's starting. You got that coming off your bench, that kid's ability to score and defend.
Three-pointer, Deloney. Side iron miss. Hakeem, another rebound. Riverhawks have worked the D glass well tonight. Hakeem skips his way into the front court. Hammond is ready to fire, and he knocks down the 3.
How about the vision?
Fires up the home fans and gives the Riverhawks a little breathing room. 69-56 now as we close in on 2 minutes. Deloney along the baseline. Good reverse layup. And a quiet night for Deloney.
Non-factor. Didn't really contribute at all.
Only 2 points in the first half, 4 cents.
Nice.
Riverhawks work the middle against the zone press.
That's it. Get it to the middle. Everything else kind of falls into place.
Now it's Hakeem trying to lure out Barreto. Goes around the big man. Pulls it back out. Looks at the shot clock. It's down to 10. Down to 100 seconds remaining on the game clock.
Nice.
Hammond is open. Three-pointer is good.
Now that's what we talked about. Everett Hammond, 2 plays in a row. He had open shots. Chose not to take them. Turned it over. When you can shoot the basketball like that, when that ball's coming to you in the air before it hits your hands, you got to know it's going up.
Wide open off the extra pass.
Such
Alan
poise.
Blunt with the assist.
Such a
and now
poised
foul
group.
here against the Riverhawks is going to put Vermont back to the line. That's number 4 on Covington. Called for the reach with 1:22 to go as we get another look at that pretty stroke from Hammond.
Quick trigger.
Hammond tonight, kind of a quiet 15 points.
Very quiet 15.
Meanwhile, Penn with one more coming, 72-58. Becker going to shuffle the cards again. Coach Becker takes Io Faleo and Barreto out. Returns with Gibson and Alamutu, 2 guards. Empty trip at the line for Penn. Riverhawks have it. Looking to kill a little clock here against this zone press. They go backdoor to Max Brooks.
Great hands.
Stripped by Gibson, but he's out of bounds under the basket.
Great hands by Gibson there.
May have saved the dunk there.
Certainly did.
The 1:08 remaining. UMass Lowell keeps it 17 on the clock.
UMass Lowell just looking to get the ball into Ayinde Hakeem.
And a foul here away from the ball. Duncan guilty of the grab. Tied up Max Brooks. 9 team fouls now against the Catamounts.
If you're the Riverhawks, it's safe to say, unless something crazy in here happens tonight, they're going to walk away with a win right now. But you do have a minute left. How are you going to handle this next minute knowing that the game's probably over? Stay disciplined. Be respectful of Vermont. This is obviously a big win. They haven't beaten Vermont in a while. Act like you should win this game.
First win since December of 2020. So over 2 years. And again, just the 4th time in 19 meetings. Vermont has had the upper hand. Brooks going to cash in at the line. Riverhawks have had the upper hand tonight. They've led the entire second half.
Oh, tough.
And by as many as 23 tonight. Another bucket in the lane comes for Vermont. Catamounts within 14. Trap here. Hammond avoids a triple team. Skip pass for Akeem. Spins his way along the sideline, and a foul comes shy of half court.
Akeem's so poised. He gets the ball, and I mean, guys are running at him from everywhere and never gets rattled. Does exactly what he wants to do, know where he wants to go with the ball. Understands how to create that just little bit of space when a guy's coming at you that hard to be able to get by him.
Grew up kind of a hotbed. Washington, D.C., right?
Absolutely.
As you mentioned, played for LaSalle in the Atlantic 10. And has certainly found a home here with Coach Duquette and company.
Gone to a couple practices. He's a big personality, always talking. And you need that on a team. The season is a grind.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody that can lighten the mood and somebody that you respect.
Deloney for three.
Deloney trying to hit his average here late.
Cashes in on an open three from the wing. He's got 11.
I mean, if I'm Coach Becker, I'm asking, where's he been?
He's had 9 in the second half. Gibson going to score that off the glass. Vermont not ready to pack it in yet. They're back with an 11.
This is what I was talking about. How are you going to end the game?
Hammond knocks to the floor. And a foul call, I believe, against Duncan. It's on Duncan, and that's number 4. Sorry, Jim. Go ahead.
It's okay. You talked about the hotbed of recruiting. Lewis Hinnett.
Yep.
Boston College.
Yep.
It's funny because,
Coach Hinnett, of course, from that area.
From that area. Yep. Sorry, yeah. Great connections down there because he was such a great player at Boston College. Like, people don't realize how good of a player he was. Now, granted, he played with great players, Jared Dudley, Craig Smith. I'm sure there were other guys on that team I'm forgetting.
But they were perennial tournament teams.
They were Sweet 16
under
type
Coach
teams.
Skinner, and, of course, Coach Duquette was part of that staff.
Yeah, Lewis Hinnett's the starting point guard on that team.
And he played until 30 over in Europe professionally.
Had a great career over in Europe.
And now he's really been spearheading the recruiting effort in a lot of ways over the last several seasons. Now 8 seasons on the sideline with Coach Duquette. Here's a foul as Covington collects another rebound.
I hope it never happens, or maybe it'll happen here because I love the guy. But Lewis Hinnett's going to be a head coach at the Division I level before long.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah, and a good one.
Yep.
Works hard.
Very good guy to talk to.
Tremendous guy.
As well. Always has a smile on his face, good sense of humor.
I tell you,
players can relate to him as well.
I'll tell you a funny story about him. We were down at BC, and he was talking about how he really hadn't had the chance to go back. And he's like, I don't know, alumni. It wasn't really something that he was interested in doing at the time. We went down to the basketball game when UMass Lowell beat BC in Connie Forum, and his picture's on the wall. And I remember going up to him and saying,
That's right.
Do you see that right there? That's why you can do anything you want around here.
Right.
You come back, people will be happy to have you back on campus. He was a special player, and he's a great guy.
What I remember most about that trip to Chestnut Hill was the spread. Right? The food was
tremendous.
Fantastic, if I remember correctly.
It was fantastic.
Meanwhile, Dunn, little spin, won't work. Shot clock off as Blunt has the rebound, and the Riverhawks are getting ready to celebrate. They came in search of a response after, frankly, an embarrassing loss against Albany. And they do more than respond. They come out and dominate, led by as many as 23 in the second half. Vermont, a valiant effort down the stretch, but in the end, it's UMass Lowell's night. 80-65 is the final score as the Riverhawks get the response they were looking for. They improved to 3-1 in conference, now 15-3 overall. Vermont, a rare second straight loss in conference, has the Catamounts at now 2-2 and 8-10 overall.
Well, I mean, as many eyebrows that were raised